AskReddit by What 247. Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager should know about the real world? During high school, learning how to learn is more important than anything you're actually learning. Learn how to study and work as well. Don't slack off in high school. You can still pass if you do, but college and life after that will be a bitch if you don't develop a work ethic. Put in the time to do your homework. Be reliable on the things you need to do. Don't rely on your teachers chasing you down to get your homework turned in. Building a good work ethic will do you wonders for when you actually need it out in the world. Also, it absolutely sucks to go to college, get seriously swamped in classwork, and not have a built-up work ethic. It's draining and demoralizing as hell, particularly if you're not used to it. Do the work now and it'll pay off dividends later. Friendships take maintenance. You don't need a lot to have a happy life, either. Maintaining one awesome friend is more worthwhile than the struggles of maintaining several okay ones. For better or for worse, confidence opens as many doors as competence. Also, internships matter way more than grades. People lie. Just because they're an adult doesn't mean they always tell the truth. As the president of Burundi, I endorse this message. Life never settles down. If something is important to you, then you should get to it ASAP. Yes. Don't get complacent or pass up opportunities because you think more will come along. Before you know it, you've lost 10 years saying I'll do it next week. You know how sometimes you think to yourself, when I'm an adult and have my own place, I'll be able to do whatever I want? Make sure whatever you want includes doing the dishes. The real tip here is make sure the place you rent has a dishwasher. Comparison is the thief of joy. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is your past self. $1,000 is a lot to owe but not a lot to have. I like that. Thanks. Everything is expensive when you move out. Yes. And nothing is free. You always pay in some way or another, both private and work life. Once I asked a consultant an easy yes or no question, since he was already on site and stood in front of me. He sent me an invoice for it. You can work hard and do all the right things and it doesn't guarantee success. You can be the kindest, best person for others, and they can still betray you. But that doesn't mean you should not be kind and work hard. I hate this because it's true and I am tired of trying. Having a goal and a plan in life doesn't automatically mean it's going to work out, especially if you don't come from money. It's okay to fail. This world is kinda fucked up, and it's not always your fault. You can do everything right and still fail. Don't worry about not having the respect of people you don't respect. This is a good one. I'd like to add, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't ask for advice. You are the main character in your story, but you are not even an afterthought to 7 billion people. Edit. 8 billion people, damn. Me celebrating because 1 billion people are thinking about me. Your job sees you as replaceable. Look out for yourself and your family. Your job is not everything, but it will feel like it is. Make sure that if you don't like where you are, that you change it. Don't be miserable at a job because it pays well. Amen. Jobs are just that, jobs. You need them to eat, and have a car, etc. They aren't your life and no one will remember you after you move on from the job. Eventually they'll forget who you were. So take time for family, screw the stupid after work dinners and all that crap. Family matters more. No life plan survives contact with the real world. We're all basically just winging it. I said this above, but having a plan is better than not. If you don't plan your own B-day parties, you won't have B-day parties. Friends planning something for you are super rare. It's not like on TV. You have to make an effort to have a social life. You'll have to work to have a good life, and you'll be tired like you never have been before. It will make having fun and going out harder. Enjoy being a teenager as long as you can. But don't try to fight becoming an adult, because it will just get harder and harder. It really sucks to read this. But I feel it. I'm in my mid-30s, and if I don't initiate, nothing ever happens. It really does get tiring. And I gave TF up. They don't even get an ounce of my energy anymore. But I still have a good time without them. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. You can be the most delicious peach on a tree, but not everybody likes peaches. 1. You would be amazed at the things each person on this earth has had to overcome. Everyone has a story, everyone here has battled, and everyone is a victim of something or someone. Be proud of your survival and celebrate your birthdays. 2. We are complex creatures. We are not defined by any one action but by the decisions we make day to day. Of course, extreme decisions will sway the tides. Point is, someone can be nice and charming and wonderful and a hero, and also an evil opportunist in the next moment. Never give someone total control of your safety and well-being. Rely on you. 3. Your body is a pathetic soft fleshy blob of helplessness, especially when you're driving 80 miles per hour in a glass and steel death trap buffered by protective paint on the road. You can die. Painfully. Many have found this out the hard way. Don't text or drink and drive. It only takes a second of stupidity to end it all. 4. The good moments make everything else worth it. That's why. Deleted. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Edit. Holy shit, thank you for the awards. That makes me happy to hear. It's more expensive than you think. Learn about finances now, the danger of debt, how to do taxes, how to invest, etc. That everything is temporary. I hate this fact. Don't let yourself get talked into some bizarre facile idea of what the world and life is like. It's definitely gonna be different. The ones that'll hurt you most are those closest to you. Yeah, the reverse is also true. You are most likely to hurt the ones closest to you. You have to be your own advocate, because nobody else will. Life is extremely unfair. And there is no reason for that. People who have expectations of things being fair in the real world are always sorely disappointed. If you fuck around too much, you'll eventually find out. This really is something that a lot of teens need to learn, since high schools are so lenient with everything. In the real world, if you don't do your work you get fired, not endless extensions. In the real world, if you get into a fight you go to jail, not home for a few days. Document everything with your landlord. Keep texts, receipts, no oral agreements, and follow everything to the tenancy laws. That it's all about marketing. It doesn't matter that much how hard you work, it's more about how you sell yourself. That even if your point of view is correct, without proper communication and negotiation skills no one will probably care. 100% this. If you don't toot your own horn, someone else will use it as a spittoon. You are responsible for everything you do, and you will be held accountable. Enjoy your youth till 16, because after that the kid gloves come off. Deleted. It's okay to make mistakes, but learn from your mistakes and move on. Society owes you nothing, and the universe is indifferent. The universe doesn't hate you. It simply doesn't care. There is a huge chance the people you call your closest friends now won't be in your life in the upcoming years. Yup, 46-year-old male here. I used to be quite social and had a big social circle. I'm down to one friend, and losing him fast. Too many close friends died of drugs or suicide, and the rest moved away, or had 7 kids, so they slowly drift away. There are consequences to all your choices and you will face them all one way or another. You don't need to figure everything out and be successful by 25. People like to joke, but your 30s are a lot more young than you think they are, and that's usually when things come together. No one owes you shit. Realizing this is what pushed me into being successful after being a jerk-off student all through school. So you jerk off professionally now? Learn how to manage money. Too many young people get deep into debt because they don't know how to save or how credit cards actually work. Remember that there is an order of where your money goes. Rent and bills must come first and foremost, then everything else. Use debt to your advantage, don't use it on stupid liabilities like cars, clothing, video games. Build your credit and use debt to your advantage and pay on time or before. You're gonna get knocked down and pummeled by life. Not all the time. But there's 100% going to be hardships in your life where you want to give up. Fucking don't give up. Life goes on whether you're trying or not. So why not try? Even if it's just a little bit. Life is all about consistency. Consistently just try to do better. You might not do as great as you did last week, a few days ago, or even yesterday. Life isn't about that. Life is about getting the fuck back up and making it a point to yourself only that you're about bettering yourself. This goes with so many aspects of life. Just cause you succeed today won't mean you succeed tomorrow. What really matters is the little wins you created. They stack up and you'll feel more confident when you do what you have to do, no matter how you're feeling. Not saying miss your grandma's funeral, I'm saying when it does count. Life will hit you with setbacks, but it's up to you to be courageous enough to keep on pushing. Just actually try in everything you do. Whatever it is that you want, you have to work very very hard to get it. There is no easy way. And save every single penny you get. You will have an emergency when you will need it. Don't plan on having the same friends. People switch up. Do not rely on anyone. Whatever you get yourself into, do not expect help. It's on you. It sounds cliche, but don't rely on alcohol to cure your boredom. Do not expect help, but don't be afraid to ask. Life is unfair. Someone will always get paid more than you while doing less work than you. You'll wonder how people can afford some things when you are struggling to make ends meet. You'll most likely need 2 incomes to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Having roommates isn't as fun as you imagine. You'll start to treasure your alone time more. Heads up, people younger than 25 aren't taken seriously in the workforce. Around 30 there's this weird shift where suddenly and for no reason people start respecting your opinion more. But until then you're sort of the underclassmen in life. As someone 40, I think part of it is because the older people are waiting to see if you settle in or if you're still in that phase where you're having fun and jumping from place to place. If you're gonna be gone in 3 months, I'm not gonna bother to take you seriously, but if I see that you're gonna be an asset, I'm cool with pretty much anyone any age. It just tends that the ones that are gonna hop from place to place till they find a fit are younger. And that's okay, but I'm not gonna waste any real effort to get to know you more than superficially. I work in a hospital lab for reference. Not everyone at work is your friend. You are there to do a job, make money and go home. Never show loyalty to a company who would, after your death, be looking for your replacement before your body is even buried. Be kind to others. We are all going through our own hell, but only let a few people in. People will use the vulnerabilities you reveal to hurt you in life, finances or career. Keep your shields up and only lower them for absolute allies. Careful lending money to friends or family. Many stories of people never being paid back. Be comfortable being completely alone. Only then will you find the difference between needing and wanting. No, you don't need the newest to the next thing. Your old car, your old TV, etc. If it runs well and is reliable, it's fine. Honestly. The world doesn't care what you drive. Yeah, if an actual teenager comes and looks at these answers, I hope you understand not to rely too much on Redditors' wisdom. Not that all of these are bad advice, it's just that they are oversimplified and contain a cynical center with a touch of condensation. This is my advice to you. Be open to other people's advice, but be careful whose advice you take. Are they a dependable source? If you find yourself automatically following a random person's advice without them showing signs to be knowledgeable on the subject, take it with several grains of salt. And if you find yourself automatically believing a random guy's advice, it's usually a sign you are insecure about your understanding of the subject and you want to compensate for it as quickly as possible. So if you take this advice, try to make the right decision. Oh, this one should be higher up. YOLO attitude in most cases will set you back years in your life. There's a difference between being reckless and doing shit because you wanna experience new shit. Do the latter, avoid the former. Most people will have to deal with your parents dying at some point in your life. It's not easy at all. I used to fight with my dad about politics a lot. Once things got heated and I ended up cutting the visit short because I was mad. He passed about 18 months ago, and now I look at all those disagreements as so much wasted time. I can argue about politics with any random asshole, but I only had one dad. There are so many questions I never asked him because proving I was right seemed more important in the moment. It's tough out there. But there are people and experiences that make it all worth it. Try to see a little good in the world each day, no matter how small it is. The only rules that exist are the ones set by the government. You have to pay taxes, you can't kill anybody, that sort of thing. Apart from that, there aren't any rules. Unspoken rules, the way things are done in companies, they can easily be and are meant to be broken. Took me about 10 years before I understood this. Own up to your mistakes, no matter how small they are. If not, they eventually bite you in the ass.